Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another video. And what I usually do every year, since now 2019 is coming to a close now. Now it's time to I talk about the box office bombs of 2019. The small flops or huge flops of the films that bombed in this year of 2019. So. First, to start right off of my list. So the first box office bomb that I know that was of Replicas. It's a science fiction film that stars Keanu Reeves. Partially of a budget of $30 million, only made about $4 million. To me, that was like the lowest of ratings for Keanu Reeves, sadly. I wanted to see Replicas, but the thing is, because I think I might have been being disappointed in the movie. But I'll get when I get the DVD of it sometime. But I was interested in it though, but never got a chance to, and I found that it bombed badly. So, yeah, a budget of $30 million, made only $4 million. Next, a film called Serenity. It starred Matthew McConaughey and I think Anne Hathaway. Budget of $25 million and made about $8 million. Now this one, it's hard for me to say where this next one. It's hard for me to say whether it's a huge flop or not, because due to the amount of the huge budget it had and how much it made domestically, but whether it had help with money that it made from overseas. This one's I can't when it makes a lot of money overseas, but I take into account how much money it makes domestically. So this one, I'll just call it anyway. If you think if you think this one's a flop or not, though, but to me, I call it as I see it. But depending how, because especially we got advertising from. It's not just budget though. We had to take into advertising with marketing as well, and plus the profit shares with the theaters as well. So especially the marketing too. So sure, it costs more. But I'm putting Alita: Battle Angel from the Japanese manga that James Cameron produced and directed by Robert Rodriguez. Alita: Battle Angel. For the budget of $170 million, domestically made $85 million. Worldwide made like over like 104, 105 around there million. So yeah, domestically it didn't do well due to the huge budget. Like I said, $170 million, but that was also taking into marketing as well. The budget would probably be a bit higher. So to me, it's hard for me to judge to see if that one. If you think it's a box office flop, it's a box office flop. To me, I put it on there just thinking that is it. Well, domestically it is. So, but I'm calling it as I see it. One is a film called The Kid. I think it's one that I think Vincent D'Onofrio directed. I started like Ethan Hawke and Vincent D'Onofrio, I think. $37 million budget, made about $1.5 million. Next is another. I would say another huge box office flop. Is Wonder Park. Wonder Park from Nickelodeon movies. It was an anime film I got for cheap during Black Friday. It was this girl who may have this dream about drawing things about Wonder Park. And when she got a little older, she put like the sort of like childish things away. But then until she stumbles across her own creation, Wonder Park. Yeah. Budget about $100 million, domestically made $45 million, worldwide $119 million. So that's not a good figure. So to me, that's another box office flop right there. This one show when the era. Well, I'll review both. I was like, on Wonder Park anyway, but get to the next one at hand here. When they were advertising for this film, they think it was going to be a hit though. But evidently it didn't. I know there's always saying that the film that shows a lot of promise, but then it ends up bombing. There's other films that do that a lot. But that was of the sci-fi thriller called Captive State. Captive State, I remember John Goodman being in it. Budget of like $25 million, domestically made $5 million, worldwide $8 million. So that was definitely a huge flop. Well, for the budget it had, though, but yeah, this is a film that thought it was going to be a hit, but but it didn't. So yeah, Captive State. Next is a small flop, which even on a budget of $5 million, it still managed to flop. And it's another one that starred Matthew McConaughey, The Beach Bum. It was a comedy I never saw. A budget of $5 million and made $3 million. That's also like with Replicas. With that film flopped, it was like the lowest of rating numbers for Keanu Reeves. This one here, they say is like one of the lowest for Matthew McConaughey's career, The Beach Bum. So, due to the poor numbers I got. Now, this next one, considering Disney, Disney being on top of the world right now with how many films they made the top 10 films of highest grossing films of 2019. I don't understand why this film did not make us the same amount of money as what The Lion King and Aladdin did. Yeah, referring to those, I'm talking about live action remakes. But that's me. I think this one is more the least offensive, and I think this film is better than Aladdin, or hands down way better than The Lion King. But why didn't this film underperform like those ones, and this one did not make the same amount of money as the other ones did? I don't know. Why? Because of the name? Because everyone's into the more of the from the 90s movies instead of the old ones? I don't know what. But I'm talking about Dumbo here. Dumbo is another big budget one, especially we got Tim Burton coming back since he made a film, the remake of Alice in Wonderland 2010, which I did not like though, but that made over $1 billion. Think you bring Tim Burton back, and then you bring back Michael Keaton and Danny DeVito, Batman and Penguin together again. Think this would be a big hit, like especially all the live action remakes has been. Why this film? It was taken to market as well. $170 million budget. Domestically made about $115 million. Worldwide about 354 or 2 around there ish, or 153. So why this film did not do well compared to Aladdin and The Lion King? You think the Dumbo being a classic character, I think people are more into the ones like the ones that came out in the 90s, because Lion King was 94, and before that, Aladdin was 92. And then next year, you got Mulan coming out, that was 98. Why did Dumbo underperform, considering the next two after this would be hits? Why? Because you think that Disney has been so being a monopoly right now and being one after another. Why did Dumbo underperform? I had no idea why. Because I actually liked Dumbo, and I think it's much better than Aladdin and twice better than The Lion King. To me, yeah. I think, as far as I know, I think if you want to do it with me like that, I think Dumbo deserved the same amount of money like both Aladdin and The Lion King did. That's just me, though. I think Dumbo deserved that money, not the numbers they got. Next up is another flop. This is another one. I'll get to my worst list of this year, but this is what happens when you don't listen to fans. But Hellboy, the 29 this year. This is what happens when ignore what Guillermo del Toro, bringing back Guillermo del Toro and Ron Perlman back for a third Hellboy film, which people wanted, but no, get a shitty reboot from a guy, David Harbour from Stranger Things. To me, he sucked in that film, but I'm not talking about that though. But I'm just talking the numbers. Budget $50 million, domestically about $21 million, worldwide about $44 million. Bomb. So, but yeah, I think they deserve a bomb. This is what happens when you don't ignore doing a third one for Guillermo del Toro and Ron Perlman. Hellboy, no, deserved a flop. Next is I saw the trailer for this. I thought it was completely a stupid musical for an animated movie. Ugly Dolls. Then I'm looking at it like this film cost about $45 million. From the look of the movie, this should cost less. I don't see how this film cost $45 million and domestically $20 million, worldwide $27 million. Yeah. I saw the trailer for that film, and it looked like garbage. And especially how this one cost $45 million, it looked like it cost cheaper. So yeah, Ugly Dolls. This next one, I ranted on this piece of garbage, this piece of trash. Dark Phoenix, and this one deserved to flop. I said in my review, it deserved to flop, and this shows I'm tired of X-Men movies. I ranted and raved about it. It is one of my easily my worst of this year. Dark Phoenix, $200 million, including all the reshoots they went through. Domestically, it is by far both domestically and worldwide, it's the lowest of the X-Men franchise. Domestically, 65 million. Worldwide, 252 million. To me, it deserved a flop. It was one of the biggest flops of this year. Fuck Dark Phoenix. Yeah, pardon my French though, but I when I feel what I say, what I feel about that movie. Fuck Dark Phoenix. Next. Why am I saying numbers? The next one, another one that Francis should have ended years ago. Shaft. Which I did not mind the one with Samuel Jackson did years back, but not continuing on again. It was like another one. Really? Shaft from 2019, 30 million budget, only made 21 million. I have nothing else to say on that because Shaft was just did not need to make another one. Next one is Anna, which is the guy who directed, Leon the Professional and The Fifth Element. Anna. $30 million budget worldwide. I think it made $7 million domestically. I think worldwide made about $30 million. I think almost there, but it still is a flop. Next is the Kitchen. You're wondering what's the Kitchen? Well, it's supposed to be like I saw the brand. It's from the property of DC. So DC, DC Comics, which I think it's Vertigo DC, like Constantine was. I love Constantine. That's a DC property comic book that I enjoyed. This is another one, and it flopped. Hey, another flop for DC. But this one was more. But he started Melissa McCarthy really enough in a very serious role instead of doing her the comedic shtick that she does. Yeah, so her doing it in a serious role and she stars in, it still flops. But yeah, Kitchen, about another 30 million movie, domestically 12 million, worldwide 15 million. So it's another DC movie that flopped. Next is a film that another film that people like, well, firstly for dramas or whatever, I think it was going to get a lot of positive reviews, but actually didn't. It was based on a book called The Goldfinch. The Goldfinch. About $45 million budget and only made about $2 million. That hurts. And especially with that in Kitchen, that's 2 flops for Warner Brothers. So more freaking flops for Warner Brothers. I mean, Warner Brothers to me is the movie studio that has the most flops I've ever seen, or has more flops than any other movie studio, both small and low on big budget movies. And they keep having one flop after another. Yeah, but yeah, Goldfinch, but $45 million, made only about $2 million. So. Next is a film that I did like, but this one flopped as well. Another huge flop, and that is Ad Astra. It stars Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones. And this was a good one, but this one flopped as well. But I think the budget was 100 to 120 million, and about domestically I think it made 40 some million, and worldwide about 100 and. Give me a second here. I'm just checking my list again. So. Yeah, no, actually, no, yeah, 127 million. So a budget, yeah, it was a budget of around 100 million around there, and domestically made about 47 million, and then worldwide, 127 million. So that's another huge box office flop right there. Yeah, actually I like that one, but go figures, it flops. Good films always flop because people are always seeing the more popular stuff. What's unpopular nowadays? They don't they don't dig underneath the surface for the good stuff. If you get what I mean. Yeah, but yeah, that was a good film too. So, Ad Astra, I'll be sure to pick it up on DVD once I get it. Let's see, Ad Astra next. Okay, yeah, this is another one. Disappointing. I did a video of my thoughts on the trailer for it. Disappointing movie. Gemini Man. It's another huge flop. Gemini Man. Starring Will Smith, Benedict Wong, Clive Owen, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I was curious about the trailer. I liked it, but I ended up being disappointed in it. So, yeah, it was a budget of 138 million. Was domestically made about how much? Yeah, it also made about 48 million, and worldwide made 173 million on a budget of 138 million. So that's another loss right there. Another huge box office flop this year. Yeah, sad. So yeah, disappointing. I think it flops. I was like, yeah, good. Now that I see how disappointed it is, yeah, I'm glad it flopped. Next, moving down the list. Yeah, this is another huge flop. I think it deserved to flop too, and it's another one of my worst films this year. Terminator: Dark Fate. Goes to shows that, if you continue on doing movies like this, people are not going to see it, and it bombed. Guess what? Hey, what a surprise! Guess it shows that people are tired of seeing Terminator movies, and that's why no one went to see it. Or maybe the fact that people thought it was a stupid movie to begin with, that's why it bombed badly as well. It's made about, 260 million, and then, domestically... What was the domestic total? Yeah, 62 million, as well as its high cost of, let's say, including marketing and stuff like that as well, of 185 million. Yeah, it's just the whole all the convoluted things with this film. It's dumb, stupid, generic, boring. And Arnold, please retire. I love Arnold though, but he's just getting too old now. Let's just stop taking these roles for the nostalgia stuff. Yeah, Terminator: Dark Fate. It deserved a flop. Goes to show we don't need stop resurrecting stuff from the past. Next is one that came out the same weekend as Terminator. It's called Motherless Brooklyn. This one was I thought was getting got mixed reviews though, but ended up getting a Golden Globe for best score. So, but the budget of 26 million worldwide, about 16 million, and domestically 9 million. So, Motherless Brooklyn. Now this was supposed to be premiere on Netflix though, but it did get some release in some selects in theaters, and that is of The Irishman. The Irishman, yeah, it's supposed to it mainly premieres on Netflix though, but it did get some release in theaters. And due to the amount of budget this film had, especially its all overblown running time, yeah, if it was released in theaters, I can see why it flopped. There's it was a high budget of a high 170 some or 80 some million, and for the money made for the whatever it was in theaters, made up about 6 million. Jeez, I think they should have just kept it straight on Netflix. Don't release it in theaters at all. Yeah. That's not a huge. That's a definitely a huge flop if you're putting it in theaters like that, especially if it's mainly for Netflix. Yeah, but it's just yeah, I got a lot of got good reviews though, and even for Golden Globe nomination, especially for Joe Pesci. Hey, he comes out of retirement for wherever he's been and gets a Golden Globe nomination. Yeah, so but The Irishman. So that's also, if you put it that way, maybe the very little money it got from especially because it's a huge amount of budget, yeah, I'd say it's a huge flop. Next is a film called Arctic Dogs. Never seen it. It didn't look that good anyway, and it did very poorly. What was for the budget of this? But how much it made? How much it made overall? Yeah, it only made $8 million on its budget of $50 million. How this film cost $50 million? There's another film I saw where I saw the trailers for it, and it looked like with Ugly Dolls. How did Ugly Dolls look like it cost $45 million? How looked the look for this film? How did this film cost $50 million? Why do these films look cheaper than the films that what it actually costs? Unbelievable. Yeah, they had 8 million worldwide. $50 million, just it's unbelievable. Next, another huge flop is Midway. It's one of the most expensive independent films from director Roland Emmerich, of a budget of $100 million. Think about and worldwide it made 15 million. Not good numbers. So, and didn't do well domestically either. So it's this, even though it opened up number one though, but it wasn't big numbers. So domestically it didn't do well. Worldwide 114 million on a budget of 100 million. That's another huge box office flop. Midway. Despite the all-star cast. So, but it doesn't matter if it has an all-star cast. It doesn't mean if it's a good movie or not. So, next is 21 Bridges. It may have surpassed it at, like, worldwide though, but domestically it didn't. On its budget of 33 million, domestically made about 27 million. Budget of 44 million. Over worldwide, 40 million. You would think it's more money because the Russo brothers, who directed Avengers Endgame, were producers on this movie, but I didn't do that well, so I putting 21 Bridges on there. Now this one's a very comical one. Playmobil the movie. I didn't even know they made a movie on this until I looked at the numbers that it came out on opening weekend. I mean, what? This film, honestly, I didn't think this film existed until I heard on opening weekend. Playmobil the movie? Does anyone remember Playmobiles? Well, I know they were good back in the day though, but they were hits back in the day, but for toys. But I didn't think they would make a Playmobil the movie. And another one, $40 million budget, made about $13 million. So, sheesh. That was funny. I didn't think this one even existed. And this will be the last one for now, so I'm saying the other ones. Well, actually, no. Actually, there is one more after this, but I'll get to that though. This one I did have to see with my mom and dad because they wanted to see this film, and from director Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood directed this movie, especially how what's going on nowadays. But my dad and my mom wanted to see this, so I did, and that is of Richard Jewell. New film from Clint Eastwood about Richard Jewell, a guy who saved the lives, about the bombings at the Summer Olympics in Atlanta in 1996. This film did not do that well, considering how last year The Mule was a hit, and it came out at the same time in December. Why? And this is also like Keanu Reeves, the lowest with Replicas, and The Beach Bum, the lowest for Matthew McConaughey. This is the one that like the lowest for Clint Eastwood now. Richard Jewell, made a budget of $45 million. Yeah, it is Clint Eastwood's worst opening weekend since Bronco Billy in 1980. So it is the second lowest opening in his career. So yeah, it's totally made. Last I saw was like $9 million domestically, and worldwide $13 million on a budget of $45 million. Yeah, my mom and dad, they both liked the movie. I did too, because Clint Eastwood's a good director. But yeah, but why did the film flop? Because of what? Because it was based on the story of this guy who was accused of he put the bomb there himself. No, the guy saved the lives, and especially how I know the real guy, the real Richard Jewell in real life, he passed away in 2007. So. That's sad. This is another good film that flopped. Richard Jewell. And now lastly, this film, like, was I surprised of its high budget and especially the amount of criticism this got from when the trailer premiered, the insane amount of criticism this got since Sonic came out, the trailer for Sonic came out. Cats. I knew this was gonna be a huge flop. I knew it. Because the amount of criticism, I wanted to do a video, my thoughts on this, though, but I never got around it, though. But the amount of criticism this film, when the first trailer came out, oh my god, yeah, I thought this was gonna be a huge flop, and it turns out it was due to the poor. Considering this opened the same weekend as Star Wars did. The budget was at 95, 100 million. And it had such a poor opening. It had such a poor opening and opening weekend. It debuted number 6, I think it was. Domestically made 13 million as of right now. It made 13 million right now domestically, and worldwide 17 million. You thinking it's gonna be a much bigger hit because it'll grow, because in 2017 another musical that came out in December was The Greatest Showman. That became a big that became a hit. It grew as the weeks to come. So, do you think it's gonna do the same thing? I don't think so. To me, it's not. And this is the guy who directed the Tom Hooper, the guy who directed The King's Speech and Les Miserables. Those are big hits as well. Well, no one's perfect. No one can have a flop on. No one's films can stay perfect and have a flop under their belt. Yeah, I saw the trailers for Cats. It was absolutely atrocious. It was more atrocious than the teaser for when Sonic the Hedgehog came out. And people were like, "Yeah, this is worse. This is worse than Sonic the Hedgehog" for the first teaser when it came out. The looks of the cats were god awful. It was even so. It was so awkward and weird for seeing the actors who plays the cats, like especially Ian McKellen as a cat, and Idris Elba as well, and especially Rebel Wilson as a fat cat. God, I'm not making fun of her. I was saying it was just so awkward and weird to seeing, and Judi Dench as well. Jeez. The look at how they were. This is like Cat in the Hat all over again. How Mike Myers was as a cat when he plays the Cat in the Hat, and the way. To me, this is like I do not need this film to remind me of Cat in the Hat all over again. How does well have nobody play cats in films anymore? Otherwise, or let alone dogs. I don't think I recall someone playing dogs like these. So, I don't need to be reminded of Cat in the Hat again. Cats, yeah, this film, to me, this film deserved to flop as well. especially the insane amount of criticism that people got from the trailers. Yeah, this one deserved a flop. Yeah, but this is so weird now. Yeah, seeing Ian McKellen, Jennifer Hudson, who was in the musical Dreamgirls that I liked. Yeah, but Judi Dench, Idris Elba, Ian McKellen, Taylor Swift, playing as cats, and the face their faces. I don't might get into that. Yeah, this one deserved a flop. So yeah, that's the complete list of all the box office bombs this year for me. I'm sure I probably missed some other ones though, but this is the list I kept track of. Big flops, especially a lot of huge flops, and then some small flops. So yeah, all these films deserve to flop, especially the ones I hated this year, like Dark Phoenix, that deserved to flop. Terminator, that deserved to flop. I had not seen Cast though, but I'm not going to the torture to seeing that though. But I know people did not like it and got bad reviews anyway. So yeah, you can say that deserved a flop too. So that's it. That's the list of box office bombs for 2019. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. And hey, let's see. We'll look forward to see what films will bomb next year in 2020. So like I said, we'll see what films will bomb next year. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Later.